Welcome back to the RMAC Showcase. It was a record-setting pro day at CSU-Pueblo as wide receiver Kieran Duncan ran his 40-yard dash in a reported time of 4.25 seconds.
The fastest, I haven't broken 4.3 yet. Training, that was one of my goals. I mean, I would have been happy with a 4.29. So I heard, rumors of 4.1s, but I mean, if 4.25 is official, I'll take that and be happy with it. So it's a good day. Duncan's
blazing time caught fire on social media. Fox Sports draft insider Peter Schrager tweeted about Duncan's time. Then college football analyst Joel Klatt jumped on the Rasta Donut bandwagon, as he mentioned on Colin Cowherd's talk show on Fox Sports 1.
Caught wind of this from our guy Schrager.
Okay,
and
Schrager.
He was like, check on this guy. And I was like, I can check on this guy. So it's Kieran Duncan from CSU-Pueblo in Colorado.
What is that?
Colorado State University Pueblo. And a small receiver, kind of a Tyler Lockett, John Brown-esque receiver.
Look at his speed.
Duncan's dazzling pro day makes him the most likely player to be drafted from the RMAC, but this pro day had more than 20 former college players trying to catch the eyes of pro scouts, including RMAC Defensive Player of the Year, Morgan Fox.
You have to be better than their goals. You have to work a little harder than a lot of people because you have to prove that you can play with guys from Michigan State, from Ohio State, guys from these competitive Division I areas.
Senior offensive linemen Zach Martinez and Gary Dixon both worked out, plus Cameron McDonald, the RMAC Offensive Player of the Year, and second all-time leading rusher, only behind Danny Woodhead. He's hopeful that his work will land him in an NFL camp.
The vertical, I think, was around 34.5. The broad jump was around like a 9.8. So, decent numbers. I'm just kind of short, so they worked out. And then I think the 40, they got around 4.5. So I could bring that down, got a little bit more time to train.
And this pro day isn't restricted to just PAC players. Colorado Mesa's Zeth Ramsey and Salim Cleghorn both worked out, along with Fort Lewis wide receiver Jaquel Thompson. The NFL Draft begins on April 28th. This month's RMAC Showcase is coming to you from New Mexico Highlands University in Las Vegas, New Mexico. The Cowboys football team had their first ever pro day on March 9th. Jeff Mills is now in his second year as head coach, and he's got a plan for the Cowboys to compete for the RMAC championship.
3, 1, 2, 3, Cowboys, let's go.
The New Mexico Highlands football team is looking forward to 2016.
Spring practice, I think, is a great time to evaluate.
Jeff Mills is now in his second year as the head coach of the Cowboys, but this was his first signing day. Mills signed 10 players from the state of New Mexico and many more from the surrounding areas, as he calls it, the state of Highlands.
I learned that when I first started coaching for Don James at the University of Washington. You surround your home state first. Those boundaries basically of those areas where people can come and experience, what it is to experience here in Las Vegas.
Coach Mills is something of a history buff. He's researched what made previous Highlands football teams successful.
Fred Blyle was a good friend of mine, was the head coach here, won the 81 RMAC championship. Carl Farrell in 99. There were times in this history when championships were won and guys from the state of New Mexico were key.
Mills hired a new offensive coordinator this offseason. Deron Montgomery comes to Las Vegas after spending last season as the receivers coach at the University of Michigan.
We'll be similar to Michigan. We'll be similar to Stanford. We'll be similar to Boise State in the way we do things schematically, and he fit the bill perfectly for that.
Montgomery was a wide receiver at Iowa State and is the son of Wilbert Montgomery, the all-time leading rusher in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Montgomery will be calling plays for several returning players, including last year's leading rusher Devontae Lynch, the younger brother of Marshawn, and Vinny Venegas, the Cowboys' third leading receiver. Coach Mills says the base for the Highlands football program begins with character.
I really believe each young man is the same on the field that they are off the field. So they make great decisions, as we talk about, daily, make great decisions daily in the classroom, how they walk, how they talk. It's the same thing's going to represent and show up on game day.
New Mexico Highlands opens the season at Dixie State in St. George, Utah on September 3rd. The New Mexico Highlands softball team looking to climb back into contention in the RMAC. Here's Connor Putman.
The New Mexico Highlands Cowgirls were riding a 6-game win streak into a weekend pot against conference leader Colorado Mesa. In the 5th, Jamie Weatherby singles to left. Ashton Barunda scores. Highlands trails 3-2 heading into the bottom of the 5th. Mesa's bats heat up. Zoe Pakes doubles down the left field line. Brooke Hodgson and Michaela Kovac both score. Mavericks win by a final of 6-3. This was the Mavs' 25th win in a row. Highlands then taking on Colorado Christian, a team they are battling for a spot in the RMAC tournament. Top of the 5th, Elisa Cavone singles to left, Weatherby scores, and the Cowgirls take a 2-1 lead. In the 6th, Jacqueline Solis crushes a double to center field that scores Marissa Valencia. Highlands in great shape, leading 5-2. But in the 7th, the Cougars come roaring back. Carly Perry singles through the right side, scoring Christina Belante. Then the rain comes. When play resumed, CCU got a walk-off single from Amy Edison to win 6-5. The Cowgirls then lost both games the following day as well. Colorado Mesa pitcher Mackenzie Surface goes 17 innings over the weekend with 15 strikeouts and 0 earned runs, including a complete game shutout against NMHU Sunday. Kovac of Colorado Mesa set the all-time RMAC record for home runs in a career with 57. Highlands is 3 games back of the final spot in the RMAC tournament with 8 games left in the season. Reporting for the RMAC Showcase, I'm Connor Putman.
Thank you, Connor. Still ahead on the Showcase, an icy confrontation in lacrosse. Coming up next, Las Vegas, New Mexico, otherwise known as Dunk City. We'll be right back.